You wake up, unlock your phone, and instantly the digital world rearranges itself around you. Before you even scroll, the system already knows what will grab your attention. Most people believe they are freely choosing what they see online. The truth is, those choices are being quietly prepared in advance. Every notification, every suggested video, and every trending topic appears for a reason. None of it is random, even when it feels natural. With every click you make, the system learns something new about you. Not just what you like, but how long you hesitate and what you ignore. Over time, this creates a digital version of your mind. A version that can predict what you will want before you consciously decide. Two people can open the same app at the same time and see completely different realities. That is because the internet is personalized, not universal. What you see online is not the full picture of the world. It is a filtered version designed to keep you engaged for as long as possible. This system does not need to force you to do anything. It only needs to control what appears in front of your eyes. The modern internet is not just a tool for information. It is a machine built to guide attention and influence behavior. Behind the screen exists a massive network of data, algorithms, and digital infrastructure. These systems work silently, 24 hours a day. They do not care about truth, balance, or understanding. They care about engagement, prediction, and control. The more time you spend online, the more powerful this system becomes. Every second you give it makes it smarter and more precise. Most people think they are using technology. In reality, technology is also studying them. It watches how you react, what excites you, and what keeps you scrolling. This information shapes what you see next. Once you realize the internet is not neutral, everything changes. Because what you see online is never just what you chose. Most people think apps and websites decide what they see online. In reality, those platforms sit on top of a much deeper system. This hidden system is made of data, algorithms, and digital infrastructure working together. It quietly decides how information moves and what reaches you. Every search result, every recommendation, and every feed is shaped by this system. It does not show everything. It selects what performs best. Performance here does not mean truth or importance. It means what keeps people engaged the longest. The system watches how millions of users behave at the same time. From this, it learns what grabs attention and what gets ignored. Over time, it becomes extremely accurate at predicting human behavior. This makes it powerful without ever being visible. Two people can follow the same topic and still see completely different information. That is, because the system personalizes reality for each user. Personalization feels helpful, but it also limits what you are exposed to. Slowly, your digital world becomes narrower. The system does not need to censor information directly. It only needs to reduce visibility. What loads slower, appears lower, or is never recommended might as well not exist. This is how control works in the digital age. It is quiet, automated, and deeply effective. Most people never question it because everything feels normal. Convenience hides complexity. Behind the smooth design and fast-loading screens is a structure built to guide attention. That structure runs constantly in the background. It is not designed to educate you. It is designed to keep you connected. Understanding this system is the first step towards seeing the internet clearly. Without that awareness, you only see what the system allows. The internet feels invisible and instant, but it is built on a massive physical foundation that most people never think about. Beneath oceans and across continents, fiber optic cables carry nearly every message. video, and transaction. Without this physical network, the digital world would stop instantly. These cables act like digital highways, connecting countries and cities across the planet. When a single major cable is damaged, entire regions can lose internet access at once. This has happened repeatedly, proving how fragile the system really is. What most people never ask is who owns these critical pathways. These cables are not owned by the public or by humanity as a whole. They are owned by powerful corporations and governments. Ownership of infrastructure means control over speed, stability, and access. Even small advantages in speed can decide which services succeed online. This quietly shapes competition without users ever noticing. These data centers are protected like strategic assets because of what they contain. Losing one would mean losing control over massive amounts of information. That risk alone explains why they are so heavily guarded. Most users never see these buildings or think about them. They only see clean interfaces and smooth apps on their screens. The machinery running non-stop behind the scenes remains hidden. When a service feels fast and reliable, people naturally trust it more. Slower services feel broken, even if their content is valuable. Speed becomes a form of power. This is how infrastructure shapes behavior without touching ideas directly. No content needs to be blocked if access can simply be slowed. Most people never realize this is happening. The physical layer of the internet is not neutral. It reflects investment decisions, business strategies, and political interests. Power is built into the system itself. Above this physical foundation sits the dead layer. Every action you take online creates information about you. These signals are collected continuously. Over time, systems build a digital profile of you. This profile predicts what you will watch, buy, or react to next. Accuracy improves with every interaction. Companies depend on these predictions to guide decisions. They test content constantly to see what performs best. What succeeds is shown more often. This creates a feedback loop that rewards engagement. Content that captures attention spreads faster. Content that does not quietly disappears. The system does not evaluate meaning or truth. It evaluates performance. Performance is measured by attention. This is why so many platforms are free to use. You are not paying with money. You are paying with attention and behavior. That exchange fuels a massive hidden economy. Most users never see it. They only experience convenience. Algorithms sit at the center of this system. They process enormous volumes of data every second. Their goal is simple. They aim to keep users engaged for as long as possible. Every design choice supports this objective. Nothing is accidental. This happens without direct control. Visibility alone shapes importance. What appears feels relevant. Governments also influence this system through laws and regulations. Data storage rules decide where information lives. Access rules decide who can see it. These decisions create invisible digital borders. The internet appears global. In reality, it is governed locally. Corporate policies further shape what remains visible. Platform rules determine what content survives. Enforcement happens quietly. Together, infrastructure, data, and algorithms form a single system. This system does not announce itself. It simply operates continuously. Understanding this layer changes how the internet looks. It stops feeling free and starts feeling structured. Control becomes easier to see. Attention rewards what spreads fastest. Outrage, fear, and excitement travel quicker than balance. Algorithms respond to this reality. This does not mean the system has opinions. It simply follows engagement signals. Whatever holds attention gets amplified. As a result, the digital world feels intense and reactive. Calm perspectives struggle to compete. Visibility becomes unequal. This shapes how people perceive reality. What appears often feels important. What disappears feels irrelevant. The system does not need to convince anyone directly. Repetition alone influences belief. Familiarity becomes truth. This is why trends rise suddenly and disappear just as fast. Attention moves in waves. The system follows wherever it goes. Political influence also flows through attention. Messages that provoke reaction spread faster. Policy discussions move slower. This creates incentives that shape communication. Those who master attention gain reach. Those who do not remain unseen. The same logic applies to culture, business, and ideas. Attention decides what survives. Everything else fades quietly. Most users believe they are consuming content. In reality, content is competing for them. The competition never stops. This is why digital habits are hard to break. The system adapts faster than conscious resistance. Convenience always wins first. Most debates focus on content. Few focus on structure. Structure decides what content wins. The hidden system runs quietly because it is efficient. Loud control invites resistance. Invisible control avoids it. This efficiency is why the system is spread globally. It works across cultures and languages. Human psychology is universal. As technology advances, prediction becomes more accurate. Systems respond faster. Influence becomes more precise. This makes the future more personalized, but also more controlled. Choice narrows when prediction improves. Freedom requires awareness. Understanding the full system reveals its true nature. Infrastructure enables data. Data trains algorithms. Algorithms capture attention. Together they form a closed loop. Each part strengthens the others. Power compounds over time. Most people experience only the surface. They never see the loop. They feel effects, not causes. Once the loop becomes visible, it loses mystery. Control becomes easier to manage. Awareness restores balance. This is the real purpose of understanding the digital system. Not fear, but clarity. Knowledge disrupts invisible influence. When you see how attention is used, you can protect it. Attention is finite. Where you place it matters. This is the second half of the system, and without it, nothing else would work. The internet feels free because control is invisible. What you see, what you miss, and what feels important are all quietly guided. This system does not need to tell you what to think. It only decides what appears in front of you. Once you understand this, the digital world looks very different. It stops feeling random and starts feeling designed. The goal of this system is not to inform you. It is to hold your attention. Attention turns into data, and data turns into power. That cycle runs continuously in the background. Most people never question it because convenience feels good. Ease hides influence. But awareness changes everything. When you see the structure, you can choose how much power it has over you. You do not need to disconnect from technology to regain control. You only need to understand how it works. The internet will continue to grow more personalized and more powerful. The systems behind it will become even smarter. That makes awareness more important than ever. Knowledge becomes protection. Future Elite Lab exists to reveal these hidden systems, not to create fear, but to create clarity. Because the modern world is shaped by forces most people never see. If you want to understand how the digital age really works, stay curious. Question what you are shown. The more you understand the system, the less invisible it becomes. In a world driven by information, awareness is real freedom, and understanding is the first step toward control.